Let's get to it. So this one topic. It's gonna be tough because there's a lot of stuff to cover, and I know when I shut this video off that I'm going to realize that there's some stuff I'm probably going to forget to cover. There's just so much to cover in this one video. It's one topic that there might be a part two, maybe even part three. Those are my friends on Facebook. Saw on my status that I was already talking about. Might be a part two, part three, but yeah, so let's just get to it. I'm also going to get to my examples of me knowing that this organization is real and it's true. So there are 13 families that run the planet, Dave. They're part of a race called the Anunnaki. In the Bible, you might know them if you're a Christian. Looking at this video, you might know them as the Nephilim and the fallen angels. And they become the gods from other pagan mythologies, religions. Yes, I did say other pagans because technically Christianity is recycled paganism. So yes, all Christianity is pagan religion, but they give you a god to worship. And that god is Zeus, which you guys call Yahweh or Jehovah, So just trying to tell it as it is. Well, we'll get to that. So they believe that they have the right to rule over us because they believe that they have bloodline tracing back from those Anunnaki, Nephilim, whatever you want to call them, Nephilim, Anunnaki. They're ancient reptilians. And you know how I just said Christianity is recycled paganism? Well, guess what? There's something called Sumerian tablets. And they contain the original stories of Adam and Eve and Noah's Ark. And just like in the Bible where the angels come and they integrate, they have children with mortals. That's basically what happens. And they believe that they are the offsprings of that happening. So whether they are or not, it's whatever the point is. That's why they believe they have the right to rule over us and keep us in the shadows while we're fighting each other. They're laughing. They control everything mainstream. Everything. Most of the media, if not all, the results in sports. If you look at a lot of stuff that's happening with basketball. Remember a few years ago they were saying Steph Curry did a heel turn. That's a pro wrestling term for someone becoming a bad guy. So the fact that it's now known that pro wrestling is predetermined, that they're using that term in another sport, it kind of tells you, that stuff isn't real anymore. And all the signs, LeBron James, the biggest star, he's doing like this before every game. And how many times he travels, and the refs don't call anything. I'm sure you've seen clips are out there. They control that. Everything on TV. Remember my last video, or not my last video, video before that, saying television, televised through vision, they control a lot of stuff. That's mainstream. What we learn in school, even, a lot of people are struggling in managing their money. Big question is how come we didn't learn how to manage our money in school? And teachers actually have said we're not allowed to teach that. I understand why in a mainstream regular basis, but they want to teach us to succeed in life. They should be teaching that, right? But anyways, so these 13 families, um, they control everything, and they even control who becomes president. Um, this part has been proven that all the presidents are related to the royals, who are related to King James, and David Icke, the conspiracy theorist that came out with the reptilian agenda, and the reptilian, he brought it to him, tried to bring it to mainstream knowledge. He was laughed at, but he brought this out, and he traced George Bush's family lineages back to Sumeria. The Sumeria tablets, they have hieroglyphics, and they show these Anunnaki gods. You show them, like they show the Adam and Eve. In Sumerian, it's called Adamu, so it's basically Adam with the U. They have that story in there. Noah's Ark, the original story, have Enki, the god who created the humans, who you might know as Poseidon, Neptune, and other religions, the water god. You have him giving Noah, or in that religion, Zeusandra, a chip to build the ark. The original stories are in the Sumerian tablets, and they've been here since times of Atlantis. But it makes sense if the Christians are watching this channel. It makes a lot of sense because Enki's the water god, okay, and he created us, okay. What do we need the most to survive? Water, agua, So it makes a lot of sense. Just that standpoint alone. But we've seen tons of examples of this, that they exist. In the reptilians, we see it in popular culture. How I just said that we go to school, they control what we learn in school as well. For you anime fans, you saw a lot of it in the animes, like Dragon Ball Z. Piccolo and Kami the dynamics are good examples of a humanoid reptilian. Even the part where they grow back their limbs, they're that series examples of there's been a conflict between the gods Enki and Enlil. Enlil is Zeus, Jupiter, Yahweh. No way, Yahweh! So, some say that, hey, good you. Hey, sorry. Some people say that Enki is on our side and trying to, awaken our hidden dormant power that the New World Order, Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, are keeping from us. It's very good. Go organic. Anyways, so, which is true, because getting off subject. Why don't we have this power you know, out from get-go? Because there's an organization that keeps us from living our full potential, our full power. Okay, our most of our art of magic comes from the Anunnaki. Um, are dormant in our brains. The law of attraction. Okay, if you guys watch The Secret, the law of attraction, in the beginning they talk about an organization of secret people that try to keep the secret from us. Who do you think those people are? So, they knew how to apply the secret. That's why the 1% are the 1%. Besides the fact that they control everything, but they also control it in a way where, even though they get the money because they create it, but they bring more in. And if you remember Kami, he taught the Z Warriors, first Goku, then he taught Tenshinhan, Yamcha, Krillin. He taught them how to sense energy. Open your third eye. Tenshinhan's third eye was already open, but Kami is a good representation of Enki. And Piccolo, when he was still a bad guy, Ma Junior, he was a good representation of Enel, the bad one. That's a whole different. That's a whole other story, because some people believe that Enki wanted us for himself. He wants to help us, but to control us himself. Some people think he is a good guy. Some people think he's not a good guy. He just wants us for himself. I believe he's a good guy. I've had some channelings with him and Thoth. Thoth is his son. But they went to war. The two sides of the family, Enki's side and Enel's side. But that's for another video. Here's where it gets tricky. Right? There are two factions of the New World Order, and they constantly fight each other for control. Not for control, but what they do to us. And they feed off of negative energy. That's why we see so much negative stuff in the news. Remember in the second to last video, I spoke about the news and why it's always bad stuff you see on the news, to promote fear, to promote negative energy, to promote anger. They feed off that energy. It's like they get a huge fix on that. So I'm trying to be nice about this. Let's say I crave martial arts, I crave wrestling. Okay, I love to wrestle, I love to do it. So it's like giving me all the wrestling opponents I want to, it's like giving an addict, crack addict crack, pretty much. They really feed off that energy. I'm sorry if you are an addict out there, but I just, as you can tell, I couldn't try to, give the best example of how much they really crave that energy. And that's why they put it out to us. The reptilians, and the Bible and all the religions, they are the demons that are spoken about in the Bible. Technically, they are good. There are benevolent reptilians. There are malevolent reptilians. They are basically, the benevolent reptilians are basically the angels. The benevolent ones are basically the demons. Okay, and the demons, they, alright, I'm just gonna break it down, okay? Basically, all reptilians from Nibiru, Planet X. That's where they come from, by the way. Came down to the Earth. Okay, the ones that become gods and goddesses are ones of royalty, from King Anu, Enki, and El. The ones that are angels are the the good benevolent reptilians. The malevolent ones are the bad ones, and they feed off of negative energy to the point where, according, if you read up on David Icke's The Biggest Secret, um, before they do these horrific things they do when they abduct children, they scare the crap out of them, they abuse them, torture. They do that to get that negative energy that they crave so much before they do the bad stuff, So, I'm not editing that out. So, I don't edit, so keeping it real. I thought someone was trying to sneak up on me. So, of course, you got to watch out doing videos like these. They watch us, through our TVs, through our phones. I've tons of stories about that, but anyways, there are two factions of this. If you guys watched pro wrestling back in the 90s, remember the NWO? Ironically, the same name. Ouch, right in childhood, right? Same thing. Remember when they broke in two parts? One was the Wolfpack, one was Hollywood, NWO. It's the same thing. And then they were fighting each other, and then eventually they went back into one. That's basically how it goes. Except it doesn't end until we all rise together and put a stop. But we need probably everyone to get to band together, combine our powers, wake up. Even the people that are religious, like Christianity, Catholics, we need them too. We need all the allies we get on this, because this is a powerful force, and it doesn't stop on Earth, because they have an alliance with Archine aliens and some of the Greys. They have, going back to Dragon Ball Z, they have a hybrid of reptilians and the Greys, which kind of looks like the Cybermen that kills one of my favorite characters, Yamcha. It's then we have to worry about the reptilians from Nibiru that might come down, but it's going to take a while. But you saw it right in wrestling. If you are a fan of Street Fighter 3, when they first was introduced, it was called the Illuminati. Now they call them Secret Society. Gil and Urine, his brother, same thing. Urine wants to overthrow Gil, who's the leader of Secret Society. Then I think in Gil's ending, if I remember correctly, he does beat him, and then he goes, and this Freemason-looking guy is like, "Oh, here's your throne," and then finds out Gil's already there. So there's that constant struggle of trying to one-up each other. If you've seen memes where there's two people playing checkers and there's people bending down, that's exactly how it is. They're constantly fighting each other to basically see how much they can control us, how bad they can torture us. and it's just we gotta raise our vibrations. Us indigo. I'm an indigo child. I still call myself a child. Well, I am a kid. I'm probably a 14-year-old trapped in an adult body. I'm not afraid to admit that. But it's just you gotta also find out what brings the dawn, 144,000 prophecy, Earth Angel. Find out a lot about myself. I'm gonna do another video on finding more about yourself, on being a New Ager. That's for another time. But that's why we gotta raise the vibration of this planet. Clear out the negativity. Stop watching the news. It's controlled by them, and even the presidents of the United States, that's controlled by them too. It's been proven that they were all related. There's already videos on that. That doesn't do it for you. You could trace them on Ancestry.com or Heritage.com. I've already have. So I didn't believe it at first. Trust me, no one believes it at first until you look for themselves. So it's what you come to realize when you look into this, especially if you have psychic abilities, is we live in a sci-fi world more than what we think. Truth is stranger than fiction. Okay, what you think is we go to school, learn, make believe, and they pretty much show us these things out in the open. They show it right to us through TV, comic books, and movies, through entertainment, through our television. That might be a good reason to watch TV, because you actually can learn it and turn that power against them. But again, going back to Dragon Ball, Enki was Kami, sorta. Even though Piccolo eventually turns into good guy and they fuse, but Kami teaches them, the Z Warriors, meditation. Okay, mastering your mind opens up your psychic abilities. You're able to sense. When I thought someone was sneaking up on me, I sensed them behind me. And I turned around, and you guys saw me turn around. That's what that was. Meditation strengthens your awareness. All right, and it unlocks your dormant power. Just like you see in Dragon Ball. All right. There's so much other things. Sailor Moon. Okay. The power of crystals. Inuyasha, the whole jewel shard. They were looking for the jewel shards to enhance their power. Except for Shishomaru. Final Fantasy VII. The materia. To me, Final Fantasy VII is a crystal game. Others may not agree with that, but so despite that, they that's how they operate. There's times where they let conspiracy theories come out as true. Now, why they do this? It could be because these two sides are in friction, fighting each other, and they decide to do that in order to overthrow the other. Just like when, again, pro wrestling, when Vince McMahon came out and said wrestling's fake, it's sports entertainment. He did that in hopes of, it was a tactic that eventually helped him overthrow WCW by killing his own thing, killing the conspiracy of wrestling not being real, saying, yeah, it's fake, it's sports entertainment. Eventually WCW was demised, and he ended up biting it out. It's the same tactic. It's, hurting yourself, or your at this point business, to win in the end, you know. So I think that's, what's going on there. It also might go back to the two families, Enki and NL, I was mentioning earlier. Um, you know, I'm not sure if that's why. I'm not sure. That might be why we have Republican and Democrat. I'm not sure the Republicans are um, Enki side, the Democrat is NL. Who knows? That part is still, but um, the whole Satanist thing, that kind of Satanist, not all Satanists are bad, but that type of Satanist kind of thing, they will fight each other. They say Satanists hate each other even, and it's that hate, that negative energy that they thrive off of, to the point that they'll fight each other for more power. Okay? Here's another part that gets tricky, because within the New World Order, there are other secret societies within the New World Order, like Skull and Bones, right across the street from Yale. I'm from Connecticut. I do not like going to New Haven. My friend Amethyst, who again oozes sex appeal, okay? She's living in New Haven. My ex-wife used to like going to IKEA. I hate it. I don't know. There's just an air of weird energy over there that I just don't like going over there. It was worth it seeing Amethyst. I didn't like going to IKEA, not because of that. Furniture stores are not my thing, but but Frankie Pepe, good pizza though. That was worth it. But it was worth seeing them. But other than that, I did not like going over there. I've wrestled there a few times. So yeah. So and then there's the Freemasons. They have lodges everywhere. There's one in my town. There's one in the town I grew up in. One in, So they have secret societies within it. The whole thing with the Simpsons, the 33rd, there's a 33rd degree Mason that happens to be the creator of the Simpsons. So that's why if the Simpsons predict stuff, because they already know, that guy already knows what's going to happen, and strangely accurate. Amethyst again used to date a Mason, and he told her stuff that eventually did happen, and kind of told her about the law of attraction too. Ironically enough, she was telling me about a time she was walking, and she needed a cigarette and water, and there was cigarette, and she was walking, and cigarette and water was right there on the ground, a full pack. I forgot she said it was a full pack, but the water was full, hadn't been opened yet, and it was boom right there, and it was. I have her repeat these stories to me because I'm still like in awe, because it's it's just incredible that the stuff we were led to believe that's make believe is actually true, and the other tricky part is, who do you trust? Okay, because the author that brought the Sumerian tablets to light made books called the Earth Chronicles. His name is Zachariah Ascension. All right, and there's other conspiracy theorists like Jordan Maxwell, David Icke, Um, you know, it's like, who do you trust? Because it's just like, if you guys watch the storyline in wrestling, New World Order, again, who do you trust? Is the people that you would not expect to be New World Order or Satanist. Um, there are people that have come out that were abused children that said it's your fire chiefs, your head librarians, you know, your police chiefs. You never know who really is a part of a satanic cult. This is the people you trust the most. Politicians, again, you think they're liars now. If you're just being brought to light to all this, it gets a lot worse. Ooh, So, yeah. Forgot where I was going. Da, 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 da. So, yeah, sorry. Who do you trust? Okay, so here's why I say who do you trust, because Zechariah Ascension was a Christian scholar. Okay, he's a Christian scholar bringing these books to you from these tablets, holding the tablets, about the original stories of Adam and Eve, basically saying the stories from the Bible, as far as Adam and Eve, fallen angels, and Noah's Ark goes, are, yes, even the story of Jesus, because there was a part where when the two gods, the family of gods, were fighting War of the Gods, Marduk accidentally, it's also the prototype of Romeo and Juliet. Marduk accidentally killed his brother, who was in love with Inanna, who you might know as Athena, despite the two families clashing. He accidentally kills him, and King Anu vanquishes Marduk to the under one of the pyramids of Egypt, which was built by this time, and by the third day, he was sent there to perish for his crimes. But after the third day, Anu said, "No, we're not going to do that. Let's Anu go," and Anu rises. Anu in Egypt is Ra. That's why he's called Amen-Ra. It's the same spelling as Amen. So that's why Ra is Amen-Ra. Amen actually means hidden. So if you're praying and you don't get some of your prayers answered because you said Amen, or you actually said hidden. Little secret there. But yeah, that's the prototype to the Jesus story. So, but anyways, Zechariah Ascension revealed this, but there's a video, and I'm not sure, YouTube probably got rid of it, but also there's another site called BitChute, which it's spelled bitch, then UTE.com. It's another video where you can find all the conspiracy theories that used to be on YouTube. Check that out. Well, it's on there as well. And there was a Masonic party, and look who's there, Zechariah Ascension. Okay, and there's another video where Jordan Maxwell and Zechariah do a Masonic handshake, and it's just like, oh, whoa, wait a minute, so it's they're responsible for a lot of the events too, like 9/11 and you know, I'm not trying not to say too much because just started the channel and I'm trying to get it already, you know. But yeah, it's you know, um, I didn't trust David Icke at first either, because I thought he knew a little too much, and he used to be on TV himself. Um, but you know, after I read his books, he in his books he actually gives you the sources of his research, and so you can do your own resource. And yeah, turns out this stuff is on point. And after Zachariah Ascension, he came out with 6 books about the Earth Chronicles. I have them all. So if you're my friends on here that I know in real life, if you want to borrow them, I'll let you borrow them. But anyways, Zachariah, the translator, he was a Mason. So where was I going with this? Okay, so other people, after finding out that Zachariah was a Mason, they freaked out. So they went and tried to translate the tablets themselves. And turns out the first 4 books were on point. So, you know, he was on point with the first four books. The mystery was the last 2 books. David Icke has spoken to Zachariah before he passed away, and Zachariah was very adamant about David Icke not mentioning about the reptilians. So, you know, there's another who do you trust, because they spoke, you know. David Icke knew that Zachariah was a Mason, you know. So, a lot of the secrets of the universe, they let you know if you join these Masonic lodges, Masonic temples, whatever. I think that's it for that. So, let me give you my experience with how I know that the New World Order is real, that this is a real thing. Beyond the conspiracy videos, I'm a clairvoyant. Mostly my abilities is clairvoyant. That's my strongest ability, spiritual gift. Just getting all these informations about these things, and upon my spiritual awakening, I was like, you know what? I went across the street from where I was living at the time, got a guardian angel candle, put it against my bed, lit it, and said, you know, did a prayer, said, guardian angels, please, if this thing is real, this New World Order, Illuminati, world agenda, if it's real, show me as I sleep. So, I went to sleep, and I'm seeing 9/11. I see four old rich guys in suits, and there's like a something to circle in a round thing, and there's a bell inside of it, and they transform into reptilians. And I saw the base on the moon, and I saw stuff that it was pretty intense, and it was like real, you know. And trying to think what else I saw, but I saw some stuff that I haven't even looked up yet. You know, for me to see this before looking up some of the stuff, you know, later, like the base of the moon, I didn't even know that. When I woke up, and I was like, a sweat. This is wintertime. A sweat appeared on my head, and I'm like, what did I just see? You know, But one of them was the base on the moon, and it turns out that there's a theory about the base on the moon, and it was just, I can't remember what else I saw, but there was some other stuff I saw through my clairvoyance, that I later go and either look it up on YouTube, or I'm reading a book and it's in there, you know. So that right there is some proof. Um, as I mentioned, I'm a big fan of punk and new wave. Um, you know, one of the lyrics from the Sex Pistols. Um, this is not really my experience, but I'm just going to point this out. Um, lyrics goes, "God save the Queen. She ain't a human being." Okay, she's part of the royals. They say they are these shape-shifting reptilians. Um, so there's another, but on my old account, I was friends with the band members um, from Kaja Gugu, and they were famous, and they said, yeah, it's real. Um, I was a friend of one of the members of Soft Cell, the keyboardist, Edward Ball. Um, again, he was real. He did a post. He sent a post at David Bowie before he passed that Google was part of, Illuminati. So, and then my friend Amethyst, she dated a Mason, and he was telling her stuff, you know. So let me get to the sci-fi stuff. The reptilian part. So have I seen a reptilian since my spiritual journey? Yes. As I mentioned, I currently compete in submission wrestling. This is about 2014. There was a guy from New Haven, and his mental state was just out of control, and he was, just so negative, and just talk to him, he just blows up your phone. But anyways, one night we had an underground match, so we go to a friend's house for a WrestleFest, WrestleFest round robin, and me and the host wrestled, and then he's probably watching this, Bill, and Bill didn't see this, so he's going to be shocked if he's watching this, but his name was Glenn. He was sitting down watching us, and after we wrestled a few rounds, we were like, well, are you gonna wrestle, dude? Like, he came to wrestle, and he was just making excuses not to wrestle, saying that we didn't include him, we didn't invite him. But it's like, yeah, we did. Like, you're here now because you were invited. This is supposed to be a round robin, and he said that we did something and we left him out, and he was just going on and on. So again, I don't think Bill saw this, but he kept moving around, okay? And I'm like, what is his problem? Like, why is he moving around? And literally his face is going this way. The other side of his face is going this way. It's like, is he having a stroke? I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, I just want to wrestle, okay? This is like, here in Connecticut, we don't have a lot of underground wrestlers here. It's not a big warrior state. So I was just like, come on, dude. Bill was feeling the same way, and he just kept moving. You guys, couldn't finish your sentence. So he goes upstairs into the bathroom and just sits there for 10 minutes. You know, and we're just like, what is going on? Like, so we wrestled a few more times. Guy's still up there, like for like 10 minutes, like, I would say. So I don't do drugs, okay? Um, I don't drink, so my mind's pretty clear, all right? So, but it didn't even dawn on me that I saw he was shifting. Um, his eyes, did turn, but I was more focused on his face. Um, so I go down. We go up to check on him. We knock on the door. Are you okay? We thought he might have eaten the wrong thing, so we're spending some quality time in the bathroom. We thought that was the issue. No, he said he was all right. So he checks up on him. I forgot which one I just said checked on him first, but we will check on him one by one on one by one. And he's just, he's just very unstable. And so he finally comes out. He wasn't using the bathroom because he didn't flush the toilet. We would have heard it. And finally wrestles. And his face, when I was wrestling him, he was just such aggression and such anger built inside of him. Like they say, reptilian exemplifies. And he's just, he punches me in the mouth, but I still was able to get him down and pin him. Didn't get him. It was submission wrestling, so I didn't. He eventually gave up because he couldn't get me off of him. I kept putting him in pretzel-like holds, but it was more for pinning. It was not submission, but he eventually gave up. And then he wrestled Bill, but I started seeing his eyes change. But I'm not thinking about any conspiracy theories or anything. I'm thinking about wrestling. So I use a pendulum, and it's very accurate. And I'm going to do a video on this too, but it's very accurate. I'll do an example now. Pendulum, how you doing? Pendulum showed me a yes. So yeah, I'm doing a YouTube video, and pendulum showed me no. That's what it does when it tells me no. So I'm at work and it dawned on me. I was thinking about it at work, and I asked Pendulum if he was one. It said yes. Pendulum was Glenn, a reptilian. He's saying yes, but just for ha-has, Pendulum and Maya Girl. So, I just said no. So, that's my reptilian experience. I did have another one right down the street from where I was living at the time in East Hartford, where it was 4th of July of that year, and I saw one walking across the street. How you doing? Pow! Near a liquor store, and he went over a railing, and over the railing there was no walkway. It was a stream, Hockenham River Trail. If you're in the area, you recognize that name. That's what it was a part of. And I was driving down, my windows down, and saw him go over the railing and heard splash. I thought I was tripping. It's like, did I just see, So I went over, I stopped the car immediately, went over there. Guy's gone. You saw a little trickle of water, as the direction he was going to. So those are my two experiences of it being real. And my other experience, tons of times where I use my clairvoyance. When you use your clairvoyance, it's literally an eye. It's just an eye that you could perceive something. You could be here and look at something far away. So for example, so let's say I'm meditating, I could be here, eyes closed, but my third eye lets me see something down in Japan. I've actually used my third eye to view other star systems like the Pleiades, and the planet Nibiru, and the Draconian star system where the reptilians are originally from. So, I've had accurate experiences with using my third eye. So you learn to trust it when you see it. Despite how far-fetched what you're seeing, it's hard to believe at first, but once you start, using it and you start getting accuracy, like when I do past life readings for somebody and they come back and say, hey, I went to another psychic and got the same results, stuff like that. So, you learn to trust it. It's psychic abilities, it's your abilities. We all have them, and that's another reason why they use stuff like atheism and religion to help dormant your powers. So you use your power, you can know what they're doing, and what you see the unseen and know the unknown, and you see what they're really doing, that they want to keep on the wraps to society. Not letting you know about your true power is how they continue to have control over us. Okay? Long video. If you like the video, please hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for subscribing to my channel. You guys are awesome, and I'll see you next time.